Hello and welcome back to our podcast, From Cookies to Closings. I'm Nicole, Wilkie, your host and team leader, associate broker of Red Dog team, and I'm joined with
Natasha, Golas, also a realtor on the Red Dog team, and obviously we're always here to help buyers, sellers, investors, anyone shopping in the capital region area. We're here to help you.
Absolutely. So today we are back here in the studio, changing things up a little bit. Natasha, what's our topic going to be?
Our topic today is going to be, we're teaching our buyers the expectations of an inspection. And today we have a
special guest
who will be giving you full insight on inspections.
Absolutely. So we're going to dive deep. We're going to ask those questions that buyers and possibly even sellers are wondering. You know, majors, what terminology a major means and what it
to not get too scared over and nothing's a deal breaker, just
absolutely not. I mean,
learning.
Yeah, this is a learning podcast and, no deal breaker. Here's the thing. You're buying a house that's lived in, right? Even if it's a year old, no home is perfect. And that's what today's episode is really going to be talking about, the differences and how to understand the inspection report.
Yeah. Here on the Red Dog team, we also hand out these amazing brochure flyers that set expectations for all looking into real estate who are about to get an inspection done on their property, just so you know how the process is actually supposed to go.
Joining us as our special host today is Joe Fazilino from Top Gun Home Services, and he's a mouthful, but well worth saying. He's here in our studio today, and we're super excited to have you here, Joe. So welcome to the show.
Ladies, thank you so much for inviting me. I'm really excited to talk about the topics that we're talking about. And with that being said, let's get started.
Let's get started. So, Joe, you are not only well known in the capital region for being one of the premier home inspectors here with reliability, and people come back to you and rave about it, but tell us about yourself and how you got started, why you got into this industry.
All right. So I have an engineering background, so I'm a mechanical engineer, still do that today. I have always enjoyed construction and things of that nature. So always been fiddling, playing with Legos when I was a kid. And when I had in the beginning, when my wife was pregnant, we decided that she was going to stay home and, raise the kids. So I'm like, all right, I got to get 2 jobs, because that's what you do. So I got a job at Home Depot, learned a lot during that time frame. And at the same time, a tree fell on my brother-in-law's house. So we had to chop off the roof. And I learned so much of construction from his father, because he was in construction. So with working at Home Depot and working at my brother-in-law's house, I'm like, maybe I could do this.
Yeah.
So back in 2004, I started doing kitchens and bathrooms, and then started getting into decks, and never got into large additions. But I don't know if you remember the market, like in 2005, it started skyrocketing. So everybody started moving, which allowed a pocket for me. I used to charge an hourly rate and had all the clients buy everything. And then the whole market went down. Was it 2009, 2010? That was kind of tough. So my sister-in-law goes, hey, Joe, you ever think about home inspections? So I got into CATSA Albany in 2011. And in the process, being an engineer, the instructor's like, wow, I really like how you take notes. You want to maybe make a book? So long of the story, I wrote a book about home inspections.
Okay, we'll have to get that. We'll put it we'll have to showcase that.
Yeah,
What's the name of the book?
It's a Practical Guide of Home Inspections and Marketing.
That's amazing.
So we created the largest private home inspection school in New York. So we had schools in Buffalo, Syracuse, Albany, White Plains, and then I wrote a second book on top of that.
Don't
then all of a sudden, COVID happened.
Oh yeah,
and it shut because everything was right. It was tough.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to figure out how to do COVID. So that's where we are today. So with that, I created a mold assessors school. So I teach people how to become mold assessor.
That's amazing.
Created a real estate continuing education school. So I go around providing credits.
Yes, we like that.
Yeah, I know.
You can have Joe come to your office.
We can come to your office and you'll actually get credits. I got 13 classes that I created, and I got 4 more coming.
Wow, you have a lot. Okay, I didn't realize there was that many.
Yeah. So
wow.
I think you can take up to almost 30 credit hours. Wow. So I love it. I mean, I love home inspections. I love helping people. But when my wife and I, when we bought our first house. It was kind of devastating because they came in and they did everything, and bing, bada, boom. An hour later, they're gone. You spend the money, and then a week later, I'm like, why are the dogs peeing on the ground right next to the shower on the carpet? Come to find out, my ceramic tile pan was leaking, and I had no idea.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So, and when I was in construction, I was finding a lot of errors, things that were missed.
Yes.
I think that's why we strive.
You probably got frustrated, and then you said, I can do this better. Or,
Right.
I wanted to help people.
Yeah.
And that's why if you go to my website, we treat everyone like family. And as you know, we talk to people like if it is my son, if it is my daughter, even all my team members, I tell them like, pretend it's your aunt or uncle, or pretend it's someone that you care and love about, because at the end of the day, it's not the number of inspections that we do, it's the actual heartbeats of the people that we're talking to and making sure the house, for them, we give them all the data. It's the risk assessment.
Yes.
You guys figure out the risks.
Right.
We just prevent the data.
Yeah, so we're here to guide. So we work hand in hand as a team with you and your team. And we understand from going to these inspections, so we learn a lot, so we can help our clients too. And it's kind of like, that's
education
what,
at the same time.
Yeah.
So.
Perfect.
Yeah, that was a short version of everything I do.
I love that. Thank you.
All right, now we're going to be talking a little bit about why home inspections really matter. And home inspections really matter for educating our buyers. They matter even for our sellers, and no home will be perfect. So when you're getting your inspection done, things will come up, but you do not have to stress, you don't have to worry so much, because no home will be perfect. Luckily, we have a great home inspector with us today, so we can ask him, what do you personally think actually matters?
When it comes to a home inspection, the biggest thing that we're looking for is defects that can change the value of the home. And that's what is the essence. A lot of our clients are walking in houses today that have a certain amount of funds, and they just want to know up front, what is it going to cost me now and possibly in the future? And as long as they have funds to fix things now and the potential to have funds in the future, I think a lot of clients will move forward in a home.
Yeah.
And that's the key. So they're not surprised. I think one of the biggest things is when everybody's moving in and you have pizza at the kitchen and everything, and people are moving around, and all of a sudden the uncle goes, hey, did you see this, Jill? Hey, Jack, what about this over here? And all of a sudden they go, did the home inspector point that out? Did the home inspector show us that? That's why it's so critical for us to take our time. It takes about 2.5 hours, depending on the size of the house, 2,500 square feet, that we visually look at everything and we take our time, because we don't want our clients surprised. They need to know everything. And I know that's a little bit overwhelming, but it's about what can change.
Yeah, that's why they're paying you.
Yeah,
that's why they're bringing you in.
Now let's take the flip side of the
thing.
coin, right? Look at the seller. What happens if we find a safety issue that could actually injure them? What happens if we do find a gas leak or an electrical issue that they didn't know about that could cause a electrical fire? I did a pre-listing home inspection one time, and there was actually a burn mark on the panel that was only 6 months old.
Wow.
But it did not have an inspection sticker by a third party.
Oh, wow.
So most likely an electrician installed it, but they never even knew about it. So the seller's like, oh my God, thank you so much.
Wow.
So that's why I think it's critical.
Yeah. Very important. And not to cut you off, but the thing is, one other thing is you can point out all the visibles. So you actually open windows, you check outlets, you are checking in the attic for any active leaks, mold, pests, signs of pests, anything like that. But some things that buyers think that you have superpowers, which you do, Joe, but that you can see behind a wall, or if there's mold behind a vanity in a bathroom or a shower tile or something. Now, draw the line on that. You don't know what you can't see, correct? And sometimes we have clients who get upset after they buy something and they remodel, take a wall out or two floors, and they find something. It's like, you're not a psychic.
We're not. You got to remember, and as you know, we're guests in people's houses. I cannot start moving all the furniture, pulling out insulation, because of the possibility of creating damage. They do expect us to have some knowledge based on experiences that, hey, maybe there could be an issue, maybe there could be a problem, but what becomes the difficulty is we don't want to project a future defect when it may not exist. So we have to look at what we see, present the data, and try to draw a true conclusion.
Yes.
And if we feel there could be something, let's get the contractor out there. Let's get the permission of the seller to say, yes, we're going to do a little bit of instruction. What that means is maybe they got to open some sheetrock. Maybe they got to pull the rug back. Those are the key things. And it's us just to highlight those.
Right.
So you would do.
Right. You would hand it off and say, get a certified licensed contractor or a specialist out. And that would be where we would get somebody out there, and we do a little more due diligence for that buyer to fully understand what the situation might be.
But we pointed it out.
Yes.
That's the key item.
Yes.
It was pointed out. If it wasn't pointed out and it's visual,
right.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Setting expectations for buyers is huge during the process of inspections in real estate. And a big reason why is because buyers get really overwhelmed when they receive an inspection report that is like this thick.
Yeah.
It's like 40 pages long. You don't really know what to do. You're getting overwhelmed. No home is going to be perfect. Every home has deficiencies. It's just they're here to help you with them. So when you see that, don't get overwhelmed. They're just pointing things out for you.
So those expectations are to be in place that you're going to find things, your report's going to have major, minor safety, maintenance issues, but that's why you're in the hands of Top Gun. They're going to be there to talk about it. So Joe, our reports, like home inspection reports, literally like 40, 50, 60 pages long.
Absolutely. I mean, we just did a brand new bill. A brand new bill off the bat is like 15 pages because we're documenting everything. And it's not always defects, right? Off the bat. Yeah. We're just stating the conditions. Now, we get a lot of comments about the size of our reports, right? Now, one of the things, I guess the reason why they're so long is we have very large images. We have smaller images and people are trying to zoom in. So that's one big thing. We're giving 3 to 6 images for every single defect. Then we have a standard checklist that provides everything that we're seeing with respect to the material that's being used, how many faucets that they have, really just an overall inventory of the property. Now, when it comes to the defects themselves, right, we try to break it down to what we call as IDEA, right? IDEA. We identify the problem, we describe it, then we explain it, why it's important to you. And then our last item is action. Let's contact a qualified contractor. When we give these reports, we tell them at the time of the inspection, listen, for this particular house, you may see like 90 pages. And they're like, oh my God, are you kidding me? The reason why we do this is that this is going to be a maintenance really book for you for the life of the home. You don't have to do everything immediately. We actually have to work on the major defects. Then the next thing, okay, let's work on the safety items. But the next item, all the periodic maintenance and the general repair, that can be done at your own leisure. Now, when we provide this information, we'll tell Nicole and Natasha, hey, if we need to have a conference call to go over this afterwards, because it is a lot. You know, when the first day is buyers have remorse? When is the first day they have buyers?
As soon as they own it?
Actually, when we show up.
Oh, I was going to say as soon as they own it, because I'm always like, welcome to home ownership. No. Maintenance is always going to happen. Money now. It's going to cost money.
No, they're like, oh my God, I love this house. I'm going to go through all these wonderful things. And we walk in and we explain to them like, hey, just to let you know, we're here to find all the issues with the house.
Yeah.
For 2 hours, we're talking about things that make people feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they put 20, 30, 40, 50,000 over and they're like, yeah, we have all these defects. And then I'm going to go, you're going to get a report. That's 90 pages. Everything they see is pretty typical. And they're like, it's not typical to me.
Right.
Right.
But it's normal. We see it all the time.
See it all the time.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's why it's critical. And it's just like if you had kids that play any sports, right? If they didn't get good play time, what does the coach say? Wait 24 hours before you call me.
Yes.
It's the same mental model. We get our reports within 24 to 48 hours. It gives you time to digest what you just listened. When you're opening up the report, give us a call. Talk to us, right? Shoot us emails. We try to work with our clients as long as you're willing to work with us. And what I mean by that is we have conversations 9, 10 o'clock at night to ease your mental models of the defect. I'm not here to convince you to buy a house. That's completely up to you. Mm-hmm. But what does the risk assessment mean to you and to your real estate agent? Like I said, we're providing the data. You look at your risk assessment, you work with the agents.
Right.
Right? And then we try to break up the report saying, hey, the majors are the first things you got to work on. Safety items are the second. And then you can create a list. And we've done it many times working with our clients. Hey, what should we do? Do we have to do 6 months to a year, from 2 years? And we talk about that all the time. So like I always say, we're here today, but we're not gone tomorrow. You can call us anytime.
For sure. Yeah. And that's one thing that I do love about your team, because literally they do tell my clients that. And I tell my clients that. I'm like, listen, you're going to be overwhelmed. It's normal. That's your expectations, right? You're going to review that and you're going to get through it, right? Whether a major gets called out, we work back with the seller, we get professionals out, we get quotes in hand. You know, we're going to get what needs to be done. Buyers want to buy, sellers want to sell. There's always a solution.
Always.
But I always like to tell them that hold on to that thick report, because you may put it to the side, get through, you know, all the other contingencies, or move forward with the path of closing. You get those keys, you move in, and then it's 3 months later and you're like, you know, now I'm in here, I can take a breather. Let me revisit it. And I love that they can reach back out to you. You don't disappear. No different than us. We're always there. You're always there. They're building a great team.
Exactly. I mean, we send out reminder emails like 3 or 6 months later. When people call, that's my personal number. Like, you're not going to get a business line. You're going to actually get my personal number. Everybody knows my number. So
we can find you.
Yeah, you're going to find me. So even when you have one of my team members, you're going to be calling me. I'm going to be talking about that. So it is definitely stressful. Right?
Yes.
And we recognize that. We have empathy in the situations that you're all going through. That's what's key.
Not every issue is a major deal breaker. So using that word major tends to be a little scary when people hear that, a buyer or a seller, when they hear, oh, a major was found. They don't quite understand what is a major, the amount associated with the major, and can you give us some examples as to what technically would be a major?
Yeah, let's take a step back. So major, we only, in this area for our specific G car, we define a major. That term is not used Syracuse, Buffalo, Long Island. Right?
Okay, yeah.
So a major to us as home inspectors is we ask the question of, hey, what is the defined dollar amount? Is it 2? Is it 3? And is it 4? We're not trying to run around and find out those defects. What we need to know is when we're looking at a defect and we're thinking about possible solutions to this problem, will it cost greater than? Majority of the time. Can I get 5 contractors and 5 different answers? All the time. You see it, right? You'll see it from low amount to high amount. So the standard is what?
2,000 is standard for the threshold for inspections.
Okay. And then sometimes we see it to like 5 or 10.
Sure. So when it's a competitive market, buyers, in order to win, that's one of the terms on the contract that buyers will opt to do. Yep. They may not necessarily waive the inspections, although there's some people still out there doing that. We don't really recommend it. You're buying a very expensive purchase, so do your due diligence, get your inspections, but they will raise that threshold to maybe $5,000. I've seen $8,000, $10,000. It's whatever they're comfortable with that they can afford to take on. If there's an issue going on, but something over it, they may want somebody else to look at it.
So let's think about that. Let's think about these dollars amounts, 2, 5, 8, 10. What components in a house, think about it right now, what components in a house cost that amount? Heating systems all day long.
For sure, yes.
Hot water tanks, right? The newer ones that have the power blowers, they can be like $1,400 to $1,800, right? Septic systems all day. Foundations, those solutions can definitely be greater than the dollar amount. So when you raise that dollar amount, when you're looking to be competitive, ask yourself, what defects am I going to accept that are normally going to be below $5,000? Because you can have 3 or 4 that are, let's say, $3,000. 3 of them, now you're at $9,000. Right. It's not being covered.
Right. It won't be covered by the threshold. Good point.
These are items, and all of this can be solved, right? That's where you all come in. It's a negotiation between the agents and the lawyers. It is not us. We're providing that data. Now, if we think about some of these defects, the biggest one we see all the time is furnace systems or boilers, right? We just had one that was 32 years old. We operated per our SOPs. We look at safety, operation, and condition. So what does that mean? All I can do is I turn on the thermostat, giddy up, it's working. All right, let's go downstairs. We look at a 32-year-old system. It looks in great condition, not a lot of rust, which indicates that there's very low humidity, right? The overall condition of it, not in the internal components, because we cannot take this thing apart like a technician can, right? The next thing is we're going to be looking at the exhaust duct, because it can be carbon monoxide. So when we say safety operation condition and if the system is working, it's working at the time of the inspection. I cannot predict how long it's going to be. So
you don't have a crystal ball?
No, I don't
Come on, Joe. That's superhero powers.
32, so the client was like, we need a new furnace. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I understand, and I comprehend what you're saying. Yes, in the future, you're going to need a new furnace, probably sooner than later. But today, where I'm standing, looking at the system, it's working, it's operating.
I have the same thing going right now.
I can't make it or project it that is bad.
Correct.
Because let's do some role reversal, right? Let's say you're selling the house. I walk in and I say, hey, you got a 32-year-old system and, it's old, so it's got to get replaced. And you can be like, what? No, it's working.
Right.
And that's the stressful part. And we have empathy in this whole situation. And it really comes down to that dollar.
Yeah, I mean, the buyers have to understand you're buying a home that could be 50, 60, 100 years old. If the furnace is 32 years old or even older or younger or whatever, there's no guarantee. There's no
warranty on it. And that doesn't warrant, because you might call it out as like end of life or save for the future.
That's what we say.
It doesn't mean you're, just because you hear those terms or you see it in the report, that they're going to replace it and that warrants you a brand new system. You don't get brand new systems. It's working. It's no different than a used car. You're buying a used car, the AC's working, but you take it off the lot. Guess what? 6 months later, it might not work, or you might have problems with it.
My Aunt Jan had a system that went 10 years and 4 months.
Wow.
At the 4 months. 10 years, it was completely warranty. 4 months later, it's not. It's these are manufacturing components. So it becomes tough. It becomes really tough, and I don't envy your positions at all.
It does. Oh gosh, yeah. We do I don't want to say we drink a lot, but or eat cookies, I don't know. Yeah. But either way, it is a little stressful for all parties involved, and we obviously want to fight for you. We want to do what's best for you, and we are here to support you, and we understand, we hear you. But when things get called out like that, like end of life, save for future, that could be an old roof as well, like end of life, save for it. It doesn't mean you're getting a brand new roof. It doesn't mean you're going to walk away from the deal because it's an older roof. We have a PCD, a property condition disclosure. It typically will tell you the age. We kind of can get that information from our home inspector. Like, we know that going in, that it's not a new roof. It doesn't come with new components.
And that's a good topic. One of the things that we teach at the school, and we teach everybody, and I think you've all and everyone else has probably heard me say this, that if the roof is not leaking, it's functioning. It may be old. My father has a 32-year-old architectural shingle, right? It still has good particles on it. But if I get a roofing contractor, they're going to say, hey, these particles on the are really loose and we should replace it. Well, it's not leaking. So,
every roofer wants a full job.
Right? So it's not leaking. So that's why we can't call it out as a major. Is it near end of life? My father's house? Yeah, it's 32-year-old roof. I mean, but when we sold the house, I'm like, it's not leaking.
Right.
So
I mean, it could go another 8 years.
It can go
10
another
years.
8. 5,
you're going to plan for that. That's home ownership, and unfortunately, it's expensive, these things. But you educate them so they know what to plan for.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
People think there's a lot of deal killers when home inspections are going on, but that's not always the case. So what would you say is deal killer,
the biggest deal killer?
People think that it is?
I think the biggest deal killer that people think they are is foundation issues.
Okay.
Let me start off right off the bat. I was going to let my nephew buy a house with 4 bowed walls. We were going to lift it and thinking about redoing the foundation. Right?
Wow. Okay.
Every foundation can be fixed. The question you have to ask yourself is, what they really say is, hey, is this a structural issue or not a structural issue? What that means is structural means movement. Non-structural means there's a curing process that allowed for a small crack to occur because the aggregate and the water had to separate at one point. So anytime you see a crack, ask yourself, is there movement or is this a curing process? And then at point, the contractor and the real estate agent will get the appropriate people to look at that foundation. There's enormous amount of solutions. And the biggest one that we see today is a carbon fiber strap.
Yeah, I showed a house that had that. It was amazing.
And
they guarantee it.
There's a warranty.
Yeah.
There's an engineering design to it.
Yeah.
So if you love the house and if you see any foundation issues, make sure you get the right contractors to come and take a look at it. And that's where your agents are going to come through with that. There's a variety of contractors that can definitely help you.
Yeah.
So.
And we have a resource guide of preferred vendors too that we can share with our clients, but your company does as well.
And everyone that we reference actually worked on our houses or we've known that worked on other people's houses. Of course, we have personal relationships with people. And the reason why we reference them, the number one reason, they call back.
Yeah.
And they answer. They show up when they say they're going to show up, and they provide a quote when they're going to provide a quote. And that's the biggest item.
Yeah.
That they're there to support. And it's not weeks later. It's like a couple of days.
Yeah, because that's important too. We did a different segment on time kills deals.
Yes.
Sometimes buyers, sellers don't get back to certain dates or whatever. So buyers, when you're doing these inspections, you have to progress along quite quickly. This is not like sit on it and think about it for 2 weeks, go away on vacation and draw it out.
You don't go on vacation.
Well, you can go on vacation, but you still have to communicate with us.
Yeah, make sure it's been paid for before you buy the house, right?
Yes, don't charge anything. That's a whole different topic. We'll have you back for that. All right, perfect. Thank you about the deal. Those make or breaks. That's good.
Yep.
All right. So sometimes when I'm at a listing appointment and I'm talking with the seller, I sit there and we're going over everything and then I view the property. We actually have a listing appointment tonight. You do actually, Natasha. Things that we bring up to our sellers is you might want to get ahead of these inspections that are going to come. Sometimes sellers have been living in their home for decades. They've overlooked certain things. They're just used to living a certain way, but you have fresh eyes coming into your property and you want to sell it and get top dollar. The best thing you can do is get a pre-listing inspection. And Joe, you can talk more about that, but your team does do that. We actually brought you into one in Troy maybe a couple months ago, but it was very helpful because she was from downstate. She bought this property. She knew what she was going to do with it, but she didn't want to put on the contract inspections. Yeah. So we actually, that was the buy side, but sellers can do pre-inspections too. I'm jumping. There's two.
So there are two. You have what is called a pre-listing inspection, and then we have what is called a showing inspection. Let's talk about the pre-listing inspection. That is critical. That's when the seller says, hey, I want to know what's going on with my house. My mental model is not you, but mortgage people pre-qualify the buyer to say, hey, do you have enough money to even buy this house? I say, why not pre-qualify the house? Should the house even be on the market at that point? And there's a little bit of controversy, but I like that.
No, I like that.
When I think about the seller, why not get ahead of the game? Why not understand your own house? Let's get it in order, right? We're going to tell you if you have any major defects based on the contract that you have, what are some curb appeal items that you can be working on? What are some maintenance items and what are some general repair? Let's say you have no money and you want to understand these defects. Now you'll have all that knowledge and you can price the house accordingly. The agents can identify, hey, we identified a couple majors or we know these defects. That's why the price of the house is that. And we're going to move forward. If you have that information, it's a lot easier compared to a buyer that comes in and then all of a sudden you can't unsee the naked fat guy, right? Like the buyer's going to say, I see these defects.
Correct.
Now all of a sudden I want everything that's new and the seller's going to be like, no. And that's where it becomes stressful. You want smooth communication. You want reduce stress. Getting a pre-listing inspection eases the mind of the seller, provides the information to the agent so the buying agents, they can communicate with you all.
Correct. Makes it so much easier.
And having smooth conversations, now the buyer is self-aware, like, hey, I already know these certain defects. I know what the buyer's going to fix and not going to fix. Eyes wide open. let's get after it.
Mhm.
Right? That's the key item. And we provide different solutions. You can do reports. We do verbals.
Mhm.
Now, we do also what
Yeah,
we call
talk
the
about
showing
that. Thank you.
inspections. Man, we don't like people waiving inspections.
Mm.
It's stressful. So we started probably last year. Hey, Joe, during showing time, can you come and take a look at the house before we make an offer? We'll look at the roof. We'll look at the attic. We'll go down in the basement, look at your heating, cooling, hot water tank, electrical, plumbing, and then the foundation. It takes about an hour, right? But we have a verbal conversation.
Mhm.
And that will ease them saying, if we have to, please don't, but if you have to waive the inspection, at least you had some knowledge from a professional to provide you the little bit of education to determine what the next step is.
Yeah, it's very helpful.
Yeah.
It's nice, and I'm glad that I kind of screwed up, but I put it all together because I was thinking of both of them. Seller is very important because it makes for a smooth transaction. You can get ahead of it.
And buyers, that's something that a lot of people aren't aware about.
Yep.
You know, it's not as long. You don't get the report. You don't need the report. You just need to have the blessing that, you know, an inspector gives it the thumbs up or says, you know what, here's what you need to be expecting if you were to buy this home.
Exactly. And if you think about it, when it comes to major defects, where do we see them? Roof, attic, and everything in your basement. Heating systems, electrical, plumbing, foundations. So we're really looking at where the major defects could be.
Yeah.
Has there ever been a property that you found like completely nothing wrong with it?
Like completely nothing?
Yeah, like no issues, no majors, no
No.
defects.
No. I mean, we see little things.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some amazing sellers out there that really keep up on the periodic maintenance, but this is a visual examination. We're not trying to find a defect, but there is not one house that does not have one defect. So, no, sorry.
So we've discussed a lot of great information on inspections today, but now it's time to break it up and get into a little game. Today's game, we will be playing a panic or don't panic. So we'll be asking you some questions to see if any of these repairs are for the buyer or in the inspection. Should you panic? Should you?
From a buyer's perspective.
Yes.
All right. Okay.
So
Well,
for the first one,
oh boy.
how would you react to a handrail?
If it was loose.
Oh, it was a handrail. I would probably monitor it.
Okay.
I mean, probably repair it, but I would monitor it to see how loose it really is. But at the same token, I would definitely just repair it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, cool. This is going to be easy.
Yeah. We're off to
That was all
Wow.
the examples.
All right, let's see. I'm going to ask about a double tapped breaker.
Don't panic because it's an easy fix. So you just want to get a contractor to take a look at it. So, you know, double tap breaker is when you have two wires going to a single breaker. It could actually create a little micro arcing that breaks the breaker. So it's relatively inexpensive. I think it'll cost more to get the electrician.
Electrician,
than the actual
by the
component.
hourly rate. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we see that. I see that on reports a
A
lot.
lot. Johnny, the homeowner, thinks he's an electrician.
Johnny,
Oh, I should say
Joey, yeah.
Okay. Would be in the basement aging furnace.
Aging furnace. I would definitely save. Like we were talking before, just because it's old doesn't mean it's bad. It just means that it's working today. But I think at any time you buy a house, you have to have that rainy fund, right? Like
Sure.
when you get your tax return, a financial advisor told me that 1% of the value of the house you should be saving every year
Mhm.
because over 10 years you might have to spend.
And 10 years goes by quick.
Goes by quick. So, but if it's aging, you can get a contractor there, but you better get a good one that's reputable.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
sometimes a lot of these heating and cooling contractors come with a sales guy. Or sales.
Yes.
I'm not saying they all do.
No.
Yeah, some are truthful, but yeah, it's hard. Everybody wants to get a job.
Yeah.
All right, what about mold?
If you spot mold in the attic, the basement, what would you do? Buyers freak out.
Don't do this. Mold in an attic is a thermodynamic issue. It's hot air rising, hit a cold surface. It's right, like it's creating that moisture to condensate. You got spores in the air. It is a complete item that you're just going to get a qualified contractor, specifically a New York State mold assessor, which we are, and a New York State licensed remediator. It is a easy fix, and the reason why you have mold in the attic is poor ventilation,
Mhm.
which is completely fixable.
Mhm.
And we actually see that like 7 out of 10 houses. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's very common. All right, do you have another one?
What about a missing chimney cap?
Missing chimney cap? I think all chimney taps are missing on houses. That's like probably the number one thing that we see all the time that is missing. What does it mean? It's the spark arrestor. It's the rain cap, right? The spark arrestor is an ember that floats up. It extinguishes it. The rain cap, it is kind of critical because if you think of all the water that can come down, it's coming down in a masonry chimney, right? Which therefore is going to leach into the chimney areas in the mortar, and it can start creating efflorescence and other issues. So it's a super easy fix. I mean, how many times do we call it out?
Almost every time.
All the time.
Yeah.
So just get a contractor to go and fix it.
One more. What about missing GFCIs or,
all right. So that happens a lot. GFCIs are not there because based on the age of the house, or they may be older. So that's something that I think you can just get a general contractor to come out there and take a look at it. And what I mean by that is they're just going to go and update it. You can put the GFCIs at the outlets. On newer houses, they actually have the GFCI breakers that you can install. Again, we see that all the time. Specifically, you do want them because it is a safety issue. So we talked about earlier, hey, you got to fix the majors. What is the next step? Put in the GFCIs. Those are an easy fix too. I like the game, but most importantly,
when should a buyer panic? Should they panic and run the other way and just drop and go?
No, because everything can be solved. Like I started off in the beginning, we were looking at a house for my nephew that had 4 bowed walls, and they didn't even know it until they ripped off all the sheetrock because of a mold assessment.
Oh, wow.
And they loved the house. And I'm like, well, if you love the house, we can figure this out. Right? And I think some people really do leave because they just don't have the funds, right, to get them there, which is completely acceptable. Right? That's why you got to work with your financial advisor. You got to work with the mortgage. You got to be very truthful with the real estate agents because they need to understand the funds, because they don't want to show you houses because they talk to the agents, right? You all talk to the agents and they'll show you, they'll say, hey, I want to see this house. And you're going to be like, yeah, but you told me you didn't want any knob and tube, right? And you didn't want a flat roof. And we're on the end of a point where there's a lot of periodic maintenance. This is not the house because of your funds. It's a super hard conversation. So I don't think there's ever something that you should run unless it hits your risk assessment, and that's for you all to figure out.
Right. And just know if there are majors, like we talked about before, like we work with those special contractors. They come out, they're specialists. We get quotes, and the process is we will take it back over to the listing agent and negotiate on your behalf. So in the event that there is a major issue called out, we will do, like if there's mold, we'll get a mitigation, mold assessment report done, and then get the mitigator, the mitigation company out. They're going to seek it. They're going to give a quote that identifies all of the work scope. And if it comes to $5,000 to get the mold remediated, guess what, guys? We're going back to the listing agent and asking for $5,000 credit so that when you are the new owner, you can address this and have it remediated correctly. And then that way the warranty's under your name and the problem is solved.
Wouldn't you say when you get the 90-page home inspection, you got your to-do list, right? Hey, we got to go get the quotes. That's where you all step in, right? Is that true or not true?
Absolutely.
So everyone's like, oh my God, it's so overwhelming. I got to get these quotes. I think it's critical to get all that information, to get all that data so you can make a dated decision and try to keep the emotions out of it. And the only way to do that is working with your agent to get all those quotes. It's just like doing anything else. Preparing to go fishing, hunting, camping.
Yes.
You got to do all the same stuff. Same thing here.
And don't be emotional. I know it's emotional, but I like that you say that because
data driven.
Correct. Yes.
What time is it? It's cookie review. Okay, so this morning I ran. Unfortunately, it didn't even open until 10. And I didn't know that, so I had to be super quick. I was a little late here, but I ran to Jersey Mike's to go get cookies because I personally think their fresh baked cookies in the morning are so delicious. So I hope you guys.
Jersey Mike.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
I know.
All right.
But I went there the other day because they have a really good chicken salad there.
And did you have the cookie then?
Yeah, I tried it.
Okay. So thank you for bringing it for us. Yeah, so it's hard because we film on days that bakeries and local shops are closed. So we have to get creative on where, we're going to go. Oh, it smells delicious.
This is what she looks like.
Smells wicked good.
How is it, Joe?
You got milk?
Joe dove right in. Joe was like, wait a minute. He's like, I'm going right for it.
Let me get
This smells really good.
How's it taste? So it breaks. It's soft.
It's easy. I mean, it's moist. It's
Ooh, I love it.
finally. I mean, it's everything that you want. It's not dry.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just wish they were larger. Oh,
Now, how much is a cookie there? Because we try to talk about that if we know.
All 3 of these cookies were $4. So I don't know.
That's not bad.
That's not bad at all.
Mm-mm.
You know what? The chocolate chip ratio to the cookie is perfect.
I was going to say,
Right?
there's
It's
a
not
lot.
stars.
To me, I don't like overly sweet. This isn't too sweet to me.
No, this is actually, you get a nice separation.
It's really nice, and there is a lot of chocolate chips, I feel.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about what we would give it. Since you're our guest, you want to go first?
Well, I asked what a 10 was. It was supposed to like blow your mind. So I'm going to give this a high because who would have thought Jersey Mike's would be making a great cookie?
Mhm.
So I'm probably like an 8 on this thing.
It's a good ranking.
Honestly, I was gonna go 8, but we don't like to do the same score. So I'm going 8.3.
Oh, I didn't know decimals.
Oh, we do decimals. We do anything here.
Sometimes we go negative.
Do you want to change your review?
No, I'm a whole number guy.
Okay. I'm a whole number. The engineer in you.
God, I'm just embarrassed my kids right now.
All right. Well, this cookie review is actually really good.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for letting us know that it's beyond subs.
It's like unbelievable. It's kind of like crazy to think.
I'm gonna go 8.1, and that's high for me.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
8.1.
All right. They should only have 3 bites. I just really.
This is the most I've eaten of the cookie in our whole
That's true.
My chat GPT diet's going to get really mad at me.
Well, Natasha usually hates the cookies.
Mhm.
She's not a sweet girl, and I make her eat. She's usually one bite and tosses.
I'm good. Right.
All right, so we have actually another round of cookie review. So this one here did come from yesterday. I stopped at the Waterford Harbor Market. It's like the farmer's market in Waterford, right on Canal. So there was a baker there, a little vendor, and I knew we needed some cookies for today. I didn't know you were gonna come through with some.
So here we are. We're going to showcase this little 2-pack of cookies. It was $5 for 2. Her name is elsSimplyGoodness.com is where you can find them. And it's a really cute farmer's market there. But anyway.
Wait.
Yep.
She got 2 $5. Skinny, small.
They're small.
Mine 3 $4. So keep that in mind for later when you're thinking about cookies.
All right. Show them the cookie.
It doesn't look horrible. I'm going to take the
Let's
smaller
see.
side, please.
Okay. The smaller side. All right. Let's see. Does it smell the same? Is it?
Oh, it smells okay.
Jersey Mike's had a little stronger smell. I feel like this is the type of cookie you got to eat immediately out of the oven.
Yeah.
Right?
It tastes like
With milk.
Yes. You like. I'm really starving for milk right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I love the attempt.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
I'm sorry.
I feel the same. I think that they're old. I feel like they're old.
Mhm.
I mean,
They're-
we do
they're
speak
dry.
the truth on here. Yeah.
Oh,
They're dry.
They're dry. Right?
Yeah.
Like it's.
That's why you need the milk to dunk it in, or the ice cream. Like cook this 30 seconds in the
warm it up a
microwave. Put a little ice cream on top. there are big chocolate chips, so I don't know if the
Some
camera
people
can
like
see.
that.
There's big chocolate chips there. I don't know. I feel like it's.
I think the consistent from
yeah.
the ratio of the chocolate chip to the dough.
Uh-huh.
It is very doughy, though. It tastes doughy to me.
I think that it's just it tastes like a home mac.
Like, do people even know about cooking classes from school? That's what it feels like. Like, we just threw together a couple ingredients and, all right, what's your review?
Well, I like food, so you can see I practically ate all mine. But if I had to give a review, it would be like 4.
A 4. Yeah. I mean, that's okay. That's pretty fair. And we're not like, I'm sure that when these are fresh, because you can tell when the chocolate chip is kind of dried out, that it's older.
Yeah,
and
even my chocolate chip is dry. That's correct. I've never really.
Yeah, so they've probably been sitting there for a while. Maybe she does several. And so, I'm sure the fresh ones are excellent. And she only had these left, so it is what it is.
Yeah.
What would you give it?
Maybe just a 3 because I literally just put it down as soon as I took my first bite. Like I just knew I didn't like it.
And that is like low for you because she's always generous.
So last time I did start to say I'm gonna stop being so generous because I'll give you a 7 when it be a 3. So now
it's a 3. She's no longer generous. She's
Man, now you just have to question the other cookies that you ate. Now we're with.
Now we have to go.
What did Natasha really give me? Was it a 4?
Oh, the Bel Napoli ones were horrible. I mean,
What?
they were so dry. There was one cookie, they were so dry, we'll have
Here's
to...
the truth.
Oh my!
I mean, so bad.
So bad. Anyway, I'm gonna give it a 3.6. I mean, I could eat it. I love cookies.
Oh yeah.
I
Well,
could definitely eat it. I just would prefer it with milk and fresh.
yeah. I mean, it's a cookie,
It's a
right? Like
cookie.
you're gonna eat it.
Right.
I have yet to find a 0 for a cookie.
Yeah.
That's when the cookie doesn't exist.
That's true. Perfect. Well, thanks. That's our cookie review.
Yeah, that was it.
I hope you guys enjoyed this episode here with Natasha and Joe Fazilino from
Top Gun Home Inspection Services Group.
group. Don't forget the group. I always do. It's a long one, but it's well worth it. And you were very knowledgeable, as you always are. We truly appreciate you for joining us and providing this value to
It
our
helps
audience.
our viewers, the buyers, they love to get information that they can take forward with buying real estate that maybe we couldn't give full insight on. So I'm very grateful you were able to come.
I truly appreciate the opportunity, Nicole and Natasha. I haven't done a lot of these, and you guys asking me, I'm like, holy smokes, I'm going to be on a podcast. So it really means a lot to me. We provide a lot of information. So you can contact us anytime, even if you have a go-to home inspector. I know a lot of them out there. I taught a lot of them. There's
Yes, we taught them. Yes.
there's amazing group of home inspectors out there. But if you just want to have some knowledge, I'm willing to have those open conversations with you. And I think you guys are doing an amazing job guiding your clients through the home inspection process. Like you showed that pamphlet. I never seen a pamphlet like that, specifically about home inspections and what does it mean and how to go through it. So I think that's amazing. So thank you again for the opportunity for that.
Thank
and for the
you.
cookies.
Unforgettable cookies. That's right. No,
Jersey Mike.
thank you so much. And if you're looking to buy or sell in the capital region, you can reach out to Natasha or myself. If you're looking to do a home inspection, whether it's before you list or it's at a showing or it's after when you're in contract, make sure you reach out to Top Gun Services Inspection Group.
And we're here for you, so make sure you like and subscribe. It does help us out just to know that you're enjoying these episodes.
And showing what you're really interested in. And if you want to see anything specific, maybe we can do specific videos on more knowledgeable things that you need to know. So we'll be looking out.
Have a great day.
Bye.